Welcome to our course about vehicle inspections. There are many reasons it's a good idea to regularly inspect your vehicle. First and foremost, an inspected and maintained vehicle helps ensure that you stay safe and keep others safe on the road. Your vehicle is less likely to break down and will perform the way you expect it to in an emergency. Your vehicle will last longer if you keep it in excellent operating condition. Even something as simple as making sure your tires are inflated properly can save the expense of costly replacements and repairs. Plus, no one wants to deal with lost time, fines, accidents, and liabilities. Regular inspections will help you avoid these problems. By the end of this course, you will know why vehicle inspections are important, know when, where, and how to inspect light-duty vehicles, and be able to recognize issues to address during an inspection. How often do you think you should inspect your vehicle? It's okay if you aren't sure. We'll explain the answer. You should quickly inspect your vehicle at least once each day that you operate it. In addition, your employer may require more in-depth or professional inspections at less frequent intervals, such as seasonally, quarterly, or annually. Ask your supervisor if you're unsure about inspection frequency. Before you perform an inspection, make sure you're in a safe place. Which of the following would be a safe place to inspect your vehicle? Try to find an area to inspect your vehicle that is open. Remember that enclosed spaces, such as closed garages, can cause dangerous carbon monoxide to build up and poison you. The area should be relatively isolated. You want to avoid being struck by traffic that may not see or be able to avoid you. For example, if you drive a truck for a construction company, it's a bad idea to inspect the truck in the middle of a busy construction area. Your safety is paramount. Make sure the area where you will inspect the vehicle is safe, well lit, and secure. You will be concentrating on your vehicle, and you want to be safe while doing so. For example, avoid dark areas or places where people are loitering. Inspections include making sure you're ready to drive, visually inspecting the vehicle, and checking how the vehicle operates. Some employers may provide inspection checklists or forms that you should use to perform and document inspections. Check with your supervisor for more information. Drivers need to be licensed to operate the vehicle, alert, focused, and free of substances. Do not drive if you are fatigued, distracted, or under the influence of medicine, drugs, or alcohol. You should be familiar with the vehicle, including its manual. Some employers may require that you have additional training, such as defensive driving or vehicle maintenance. When you visually inspect your vehicle, move around the vehicle and inspect it from the ground up, from the tires and wheels to the undercarriage, exhaust, and engine, and then up to the exterior or body. Finally, look at the interior. Address any issues you discover during the visual inspection before you drive. If your employer owns the vehicle, they may require that it goes to a specific vendor or location for service. Ensuring that tires and wheels are in good condition improves traction, prevents flats and blowouts, and prevents damage. Select each inspection point for a brief description of what to look for. Look under the vehicle. Pooled oil or fluid below the vehicle, chemical smells near the vehicle, and residues around connections may indicate that service is required. If you see what looks like water under the vehicle, it is likely to be normal air conditioning system condensation that you don't have to worry about. If you run over objects or animals, or if you hear your car scrape along steep surfaces, check the undercarriage for damage or have a qualified mechanic check. Do not touch fluids, residues, or areas that may be hot. A properly maintained exhaust system helps reduce noise and emissions. If you notice odd sounds like banging, scraping, or squealing, excessive soot buildup, or damage to your exhaust, consult a qualified mechanic. Even if you aren't a mechanic, you should be able to spot obvious signs of problems in your engine compartment. Make sure the vehicle is off and the keys are secured. Don't touch hot engine parts or unknown liquids or residues. Select each component for a brief description. Check the exterior of the car, including the frame, body, and doors, for signs of damage. Look for any cracks, dents, or scratches. If the vehicle is a truck, check the bed. Even if you think damage is minor or cosmetic, note it. This is especially important if you're using a checklist that is required by your employer. Make sure that the mirrors, windows, lights, and signals are in place and don't have any cracks, chips, dents, or other signs of damage. Verify that any inspection and registration stickers or decals on the windshield or license plate are current and in place. Finally, look at the interior of the vehicle. Make sure it's tidy and think about and address what could go wrong. For example, a loose water bottle in the driver's floorboard could roll and become wedged under pedals. Loose material on the seat could go flying during an abrupt stop. Wind entering your vehicle might loft papers, obscuring your view. Spilled beverages could cause you to swerve and collide. Driver reactions to insects and pests can cause accidents, so be sure to address these before you drive. Remove things that could distract you while you're driving. For example, you may put your bag or cell phone in the back seat so that you won't be tempted to look at it. If you have a GPS, you may preset destinations so that you aren't tempted to type them in while driving. As with the exterior, note any damage, such as missing buttons or scratches on the dash. Which of the following is something you should do during the visual inspection of your vehicle? After a vehicle passes the visual inspection, it's time to begin the operational inspection, in which the driver starts the vehicle and tests it. This is also an opportunity for drivers to familiarize themselves with vehicles that are new to them. Always test in a safe area, away from people and activities. Staying away from busy areas will help you focus on the task at hand, the inspection. If the vehicle fails to operate as it should, being in an isolated area will help you avoid injuries and damage. First, make sure your seatbelt extends and retracts easily and as expected. Verify that it clips in place securely. Wear your seatbelt, even when you're just testing the vehicle. If you are in the driver's seat and the vehicle is running, your seatbelt should be on. Check and adjust your mirrors. Generally, you should center your rearview mirror and position the side mirrors so that you can just barely see the rear edge of your vehicle. However, be aware that mirror configuration may vary depending on the vehicle type. Consult the owner's manual for details. Is this person ready to begin an operational inspection of the vehicle? Use the owner's manual to determine how to interpret warnings, sounds, and symbols. It's a good idea to memorize this information and then use the manual to refresh your memory as needed. As always, address any warnings before you drive. If your employer owns the vehicle, they may require that it goes to a specific vendor or location for service. Vehicles may be powered by gas, diesel, electricity, or a combination. Know which type of fuel your vehicle requires. The wrong type can permanently damage your vehicle. The most serious issues often result from substituting gasoline or petrol for diesel fuel, and vice versa. It's important to check the vehicle's fuel and/or charge levels before you drive. For electric vehicles, discharging the battery beyond the manufacturer's recommendation can permanently damage its ability to charge effectively. When a vehicle loses power while you're driving, you may lose control of it. It may also be inconvenient or dangerous to tow, refuel, or recharge a vehicle in busy areas. Test your horn, lights, and signals to make sure they function as expected. To verify that your lights are working, you may need to enlist help or use reflective surfaces. For example, you may be able to ask a coworker to observe your lights during testing. Or if you are parked in front of reflective glass windows, you may be able to see your lights and turn signals in the reflection. Your vehicle has standard brakes and an emergency or parking brake. You must test them both to ensure they are safe and reliable. Test the brakes by driving slowly forward and applying the brakes. Then repeat the test while driving in reverse. After you park, apply the emergency or parking brake. On the dash, you should see an indicator that this brake is engaged. For example, you may see the word brake in red. Check the owner's manual if you are unsure what the indicator looks like. Pay attention to how hard you must press the brake pedal before the vehicle slows and stops. If you must press hard, if the pedal presses in too easily, or if the pedal does not quickly reset to the raised position, there may be a problem with the brakes. Consult a qualified mechanic. Listen for any squeaking or other sounds while braking. These may indicate a problem with the brake system. Test the steering system by rotating the steering wheel from side to side. The steering should function smoothly and responsively. You have a question about how your vehicle operates. Where can you find the most accurate information? If you find anything unsafe during your visual or operational inspection, follow your company's procedures to report it. If you discover serious issues, such as steering or brakes that don't function as expected, or any other condition that makes the vehicle unsafe to drive, you should contact your supervisor to determine next steps. These may include towing, repairs, or arrangements for alternate transportation. You should now know why vehicle inspections are important, know when, where, and how to inspect light-duty vehicles, and be able to recognize issues to address during an inspection.